streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. WTUG HD2 Northport. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Alabama 1st and 10 on the 12. Again, Houston. He's got a hole. He's over. Alabama touchdown.
I'm just wondering if your listeners know how good a football player you were. I can still see you playing that fullback, knocking those players out of the way. And that I believe I could have run behind you. Martin, I can remember when we played the stuff and you were playing fullback.
What a race!
And I saw you in the weight room and watched you work out in the weight room. And you were strong enough to pick up the whole weight room. I wanted to fix it, and I learned that fixing back. Biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9 on this Tuesday morning. We're live and local and ready to get things rolling. I want to invite you in on the conversation at 205-342-9904. That's the Alabama One hotline. I'd like to get things rolling and have you join the conversation. You can also join us on our various social media outlets via chat, as the Martin Houston Show is broadcasting live on Facebook at Martin Houston Live and YouTube at Martin Houston Live. Also at Tide 109, we'll be bringing DC Capstone Report into the conversation and going live on his page as well. And don't forget about at Martin Houston 35 on Twitter. We want to invite you to like, share, follow on all of those different pages. And as I said, most importantly, interact with the show. Let us hear from you. Let us know what's on your mind. Going to be reviewing, of course, spring ball with DC when he comes on. Going to do a little bit of complete this phrase this morning. Ask you some questions to be thinking about. For instance, Jalen Milroe has clearly established himself as the number 2 quarterback. So look for him to do what? That type of thing. We're going to do that a little bit with DC when he gets on. If you have a question you'd like me to throw out to DC as a complete this phrase type of question, please go ahead and type that in on chat or call up and we can have it that way as well. Remember that this is the day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. Just a couple quick things around the sports world that we can talk about is, of course, wow, what a game last night. The tale of two halves. Really, I guess in some ways, based on how you watch basketball or how you watch the game, it was a good game. Some people may say it was a bad game. Some people a mismanaged game. But we have a national champion in basketball, and that is Kansas, which many people had winning it from the beginning. So, hey, it's sort of like watching Alabama play, but things still ended up the way you expect them to, despite the ups and downs, bumps and bruises of the season. So kudos to Kansas. I guess in my mind, I had Kansas. I thought Kansas was they are a blue blood, but I just thought they had won more national championships than they have because of how many times they've been in the championship game But after last night's win, they have a 4-6 record in championship games. So they get there a lot, but haven't hoisted the trophy that many times. And Coach Bill Self becoming the first coach to Kansas coach to win back-to-back. I mean, not back-to-back, win 2 national championships. So was kind of surprised by that. So Mason, what were your thoughts last night as you uh, watched that game and kind of what's your takeaway?
Yeah, I mean, it was a heck of a game. I wanted North Carolina to win. I've always been somewhat of a North Carolina fan. I really kind of like the program. Obviously, personally, I think Carolina blue and navy blue is the best color combination in all of sports. So I was rooting for the Tar Heels to win, but they just couldn't get it done. I think Kansas was just a little too good. I mean, they played better in the second half.
Yeah, and that wasn't a fluke. That's the third game in a row that they've done that in the second half where against Villanova they played great the whole game, but their last three I think they said that they have shot 57% or higher in the second half of 3 straight games while holding their opponents down in like the 30s or less. So you do that, you can come back. Did you watch the halftime show and Kenny Jet? Uh, Kenny Smith uh, in his comments.
I didn't watch most of it, but I saw probably about 5 minutes or so, and I think the only thing I really saw them mention was just kind of that. I think it was mostly I watched what Charles Barkley had to say. Actually, he was kind of going off about that McCormick kid. Now he was just not the guy. He's not the guy that's going to get it done. How Kansas is going to have to win it with their guards, and then come out in the second half, and McCormick was sensational.
Yeah, but he was right though. I will give it to Chuck. They went fast and got back in the game, and then McCormick just down the stretch, he was unbelievable. I think what Chuck was saying was play your ball and let the game come to McCormick. I think they tried to make McCormick the star in the first half instead of just letting him play. But it was like he got hungry down that second stretch. His interview after the game, they said in the locker room he was smiling at halftime, and everybody's like, "What's up?" He said, "We got this. We're gonna be fine. Let's just go out here and do what we do." And they did. They came out. They played hard. They played fast. Brown. Uh, um, I know his name has to be Brown, Braun, because Chuck kept calling him. Braun. Chuck kept calling him Braun. So I know the correct enunciation has to be Brown. I'm just messing with Chuck, but seriously, he played lights out. The little guard number 11 came off the bench and just knocked down a couple dagger threes. They just play. They Bikini was making a statement, like you could tell he was feeling a little arrogant and stuff like that. And he said, "There's no way they win this game unless." And he gave them the prescription. He said they're gonna have to turn them over. They're gonna have to score quick, and they're gonna have to limit the number of shots they get. I was like, okay. And Kansas did everything they needed to do uh, to win. And I will agree with C.J. Watson. He just said this Final Four gave us some great basketball this year, and it did. It did not disappoint. But let me ask you a question, kind of about Kansas as a whole. Blue blood, right? I, I was just surprised that they only had 4 national titles after last night. I don't know why I thought they had more, but you know, they've gotten there and 10 times, which is don't get me wrong, but they've lost 6 out of the 10 games. Are you surprised by that number and the fact that they've never had a coach win more than one?
Not really. I think it just speaks to how difficult it really is to win the NCAA tournament. I mean, that's anybody can come in there and win it all any given year. It's not an easy sport to be dominant in. I mean, I don't want to say that like Alabama's easy for them to be dominant in college football, but that's 2 playoff games you've got to win, or just get to that national championship and win that game. Basketball, it's a whole different beast. I think it just speaks to the nature of the sport.
Well, see, that's what everybody says. But to get to those 2 games is a lot harder because you can't lose. I mean, you have to be perfect or near perfect in football, where in basketball you don't. So I think the playoff run is a lot harder in basketball, but getting to the dance to me is a lot easier. And then, of course, the run becomes difficult. But let me ask you this: if Kansas is considered one of the all-time greats, and they've got to 10 championship games and only won 4, why is LeBron viewed as bad when he's had the same record? Why is he?
People like to throw rocks at things that shine.
You
LeBron's very visible. LeBron's been in the position of being at the top of the sport for almost 20 years now.
Yeah.
And I think it's really easy to get clicks and views and listens and ratings when you talk bad about LeBron because you sound ridiculous and people are going to pay attention and see why is that guy saying that ridiculous thing?
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? It's like we consider Kansas a blue blood and one of the all-time greats because they won 40% of the championship games they've gotten to, and and if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of where LeBron is. Is he 4 of 10, won 4 out of 10, or 4 out of 9, something like that, and made it like 9 years in a row. Some crazy number like that. And I was just thinking about that how weird that is that people don't give him the same level of respect. CJ Washington, I don't view LeBron as bad. I just ain't the GOAT because but he's one of the best. So I guess if LeBron gets one more championship, does he have to, if he matches, okay, and this is a quick sidebar, is, why is Michael Jordan viewed as the best? Is it because of his 6 championships? You think that's what it is?
I think it's also, I think he was, correct me if I'm mistaken because I'm a younger guy, but I think he was one of the first guys to really elevate himself into that conversation of, dude, this is the greatest guy we have ever seen play this game. It might have something to do with the 6 championships. I don't know. You're all right. LeBron is exactly 4-10. He matches Jayhawk's record. I don't think there's any credence to knocking LeBron for being 4-10 in the finals.
Yeah.
Homeboy has got 4-6. Homeboy has gotten there 10 times.
And 9 in a row.
And there's 4 other dudes on your team that play just as big of a factor in you winning that game as you do.
Yeah.
On the court, dude, anytime.
Yeah, I always somebody said, Jason Rutledge says LeBron is viewed differently because of MJ, and I get that. It's just funny how I laugh because Bill Russell has like 11 titles with the Celtics, but they say that Michael Jordan is a GOAT, and it's about his rings. It's literally about the rings. He was a great scorer, and I like Michael Jordan. I like Michael Jordan a lot less now than I did when he was playing. He used to be. Virgil Williams said Jordan did it without going and getting other greats around him. Well, I mean, he has he did without going to get other greats, but they did bring in some big time players. Michael Jordan didn't play by himself. Michael Jordan had Pippen and Dennis Rodman and Horace Grant. Both of those 2 guys was a third guy. So really, did he do it by himself? I wouldn't say he did it by himself. And number 2 is who what he did at Miami, great. But what about the one he won against Cleveland? Did LeBron James beat the greatest team ever and come back from down 3-1? So I mean, you can make arguments for what LeBron did in that sense. But LeBron is doing what everybody else. It's funny how LeBron gets blamed for getting others, but no one says anything about other guys joining up. Would Steph Curry would he have stayed with the Warriors if they hadn't drafted as well? If Cleveland could have drafted, maybe LeBron stays in Cleveland. I don't know. But that just brought up an interesting sidebar. Is we consider Kansas one of the greats of all time, and we dog LeBron for being 4-6 in that same window. So anyway, Virgil, who was better than Scottie Pippen when Scottie Pippen was playing at that position? Who was a better rebounder than Dennis Rodman? I mean, of course. Listen, hey, by the way, I was all in on Michael Jordan, so I'm not a anti Michael Jordan, pro LeBron guy. Michael Jordan was my man, so I don't want anybody thinking I'm saying LeBron is better. It's just crazy to think how people treat the two when in reality at this point in their career it's only 2 championships that separate the two of them. So, and who knows? LeBron might fool around and get another one at some point. Not this year though. But anyway, hey, let's get the break here. Come back on the other side. We'll get some comments from DC on the national championship game, as well as we'll get some more football talk right here on the Martin Houston Show. Oh, Virgil, I don't like LeBron the way he cries all the time. Michael Jordan was the biggest crier of all time. They changed the way they officiate the games for Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan scored a lot of points because he got more fouls called on him than anybody. That's why he didn't have to cry, because they changed the way they called the games on him. So that's what I'm saying is, hey, listen, you can bring an argument for everything. Anyway, let's get the break here. I love it when conversations take a sidebar, but I'm going to bring it back. We're going to have DC Capstone report on the other side.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, we have a wreck on University Boulevard, eastbound in Cottondale. Highway comes from 4 lanes down to 2. Trucks off in the ditch are trying to get it out. You can expect delays. Watch out for standing water. Slow down and be careful. Now's the time to head to Townsend Nissan. An amazing selection, great finance rates, and top dollar for your trade. Townsend Nissan, and I'm Captain Ray.
Tuscaloosa Gunsmith does gun repair, modifications, cleaning, Cerakoting, and laser engraving for guns, and they sell Black Rifle coffee. Tuscaloosa Gunsmith, just off 15th Street behind the fire station. Has the pandemic affected your business? Even with more and more customers going online in the past 5 years, online business has grown greatly due to the pandemic. Now more than ever, it's important to have a strong online presence so that customers can find your business and products easily. That's where Townsquare comes in to help. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free competitive analysis to see how your business stands up to the competition. And if you're one of the first to sign up, you'll get $500 in free advertising on this radio station. That's mylocalcustomers.com. It's the Tuscaloosa Community Calendar, brought to you by Pepsi.
Hey, why don't you join the movement for a world without cancer? Hey, save the date for the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life in Tuscaloosa. It happens on Friday, May 13th at Central High School. Be sure to save the date, Friday, May 13th, and help in the fight against cancer. To get more details, be sure to log on to relayforlife.org/Tuscaloosa.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
Rain and thunderstorms this morning. Rain can be heavy at times. We could see some gusty winds. The better chance of severe storms a bit south of here. Then only isolated showers this afternoon and tonight. The high today 71. Tonight's low in the middle 60s at 65. I'm James Spann of the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 59 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Scott Smith at Stockmart Design, doing business for 17 plus years, specializing in graphic design services, commercial printing, promotional products, advertising specialties, and so much more. Basically, any and everything you would need to advertise, promote, and grow your business. Through strong partnerships, strong customer service, and creative ideas, they'll help you market and grow your business. Give Scott a call at 205-292-4680 or email scottis@comcast.net and visit him online at softmarkdesign.com.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904. Tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Hey, this is Martin Houston, and I'm excited to welcome Penny Profit Dry Cleaning as the official dry cleaner of the Martin Houston Show. It's the best value in town. It's the home of the $3.89 price per garment. When it comes to dry cleaning, the laundry rates are just as good. The laundry rate standard shirts at $225, currently a special running. You can get up to 5 shirts laundered for $199 if you unbutton the cuff and collar, and you can get those pants laundered for $550 and the comforter. That's right, the big comforter off of your bed for $21. You can also get your clothes cold washed for $450 per item, and if it's a golf shirt, it's only $4. So don't forget to stop by the home of the $3.89 garment dry cleaning. That's Penny Profit Dry Cleaning, official dry cleaning of the Martin Houston Show. Drop by that today at 8 o'clock in Stillman Boulevard, 2730 Stillman Boulevard, and get same day and or next day service. Welcome to the show as Penny Profit Dry Cleaning. Good morning, DC. How you doing, sir?
Hey, Martin, we're still trying to get DC connected.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I just realized I didn't hit send in the chat box.
That's okay. Hey, hey, listen, I really wasn't expecting. I love it when conversations take a kind of a sidebar, and undoubtedly, this Michael Jordan, LeBron James conversation is worth one having. I'm getting more chat comments, Mason, than I normally do, or even talking about Alabama. So that may be telling the age of my listening audience, right? That good 30-ish to 50 male audience that watched NBA back in the day. Oh man. So anyway, CJ Watson says Pippen is better than any teammate LeBron has had. I agree. Maybe him and everybody, Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, they went to Miami together. Chris Bosh is going to be, somewhere probably around the same level as what's his name from Dennis Rodman in terms of where they rank as overall players. And I would say Pippen and Wade are about the same as well. So I would say that there's also, I think, better basketball teams now than overall in the league. I think there's more teams because guys can build up and make more teams. So I think that may have something to do with it. Virgil said, but you go back and each era has their greats. No one ever thought there would be another Dr. J and so on, but there's always another one out there, Bird, Kareem, and the list goes on. Oh, and by the way, I was never a Bird fan either. Laugh out loud. Oh, I mean, the access, Jed Cohen said, the access to watch the NBA changed in the 80s. Since then, Jordan is arguably the best ever. Back when Bill Russell played, if every game was on TV, would Jordan still be viewed as the greatest? Probably not. You go watch a guy take his team. I don't care how good it is. If you take your team to your championship 11 out of 12 years, that's pretty impressive. But anyway, that's enough of that. I think we got DC. DC, good morning. How you doing, sir? Doing well, doing well. Thanks for joining us. You have a dog in the show of in the fight with the Jordan LeBron conversation.
Of course, there's no better player than Michael Jordan. LeBron can't carry his jockstrap.
You got to be ashamed of yourself, DC. DC, you have been one of my most credible guests. You have been one of my most credible guests until now.
What? You can't argue the truth. You can try to make an argument all day long for LeBron, and all it do is fall on deaf ears if you're talking to DC. Talk about real basketball players. You talk about Michael Jordan, Dr. J, like that. You're not talking about real basketball players. You talk about LeBron James.
Well, so would you put everybody, LeBron and Steph Curry and all those guys, in that same category? Because real basketball was played.
So I think there's some basketball players of today that, in my opinion, are real basketball players. I think you don't have to. They don't have to have all the people gathered around them to make them good. They're good on their own. So that's what I'm talking different categories. I think everybody that loves LeBron gives him a pass because of what he has around him, and doesn't give those around him credit. I don't think you got that, but with other players can carry their own and do a good job. I'm not saying that they're going to win championships. I'm talking about how good a basketball player they are.
Oh, I think LeBron could play in any era of basketball and be one of the best.
He can play any era of basketball, but not necessarily have the best team.
Yeah, but see, everybody says this about, and we'll get off of this real quick because I want to talk about national championship. DC, everybody says that LeBron went somewhere to get players. Michael Jordan was fortunate that he was in Chicago, and you got a Pippen to stay and get better, and you had a Horace Grant, and then you got a Dennis Rodman. Who did LeBron have? Who did LeBron have when he was making it to the finals as a young guy?
I think that's an argument everybody likes to make, but I don't think that's correct at all. I think I understand what you're saying, why LeBron lovers say that type of thing. But when Michael Jordan went to Chicago, they didn't have a great team. Michael Jordan went to Chicago, made Chicago better.
Michael Jordan didn't get
other players around him to make LeBron better.
Michael Jordan didn't get better till Pippen and Grant got better. He didn't get better till Rodman came.
No, you're talking about teams didn't get better. Michael Jordan made the team better by going to Chicago.
And you're saying LeBron didn't do that?
He was on his own without having people around him. He's still a great player. You're talking about winning championships now. They built a team around Michael Jordan, but they didn't go out and get somebody that they thought was better or to make Michael Jordan better. They were making the team better. Michael Jordan was making the team better.
So you don't think LeBron did that at Cleveland when he was making it to the finals? Name a player that was on LeBron's first team that made it to the finals.
I don't know. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is when you're LeBron, they're always working about getting people around LeBron to make him better so he can win a championship. Michael Jordan had the quality to win a championship without those players around him. He made the team better when he played. It's different when you look at it that way instead of looking at. I'm not the best basketball player. You're trying to judge based on winning championships how they got there, and I'm telling you can't do that with LeBron because they brought people around him to make him better to win the championship, so he could win a championship.
So he could win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're talking on.
Why did LeBron leave Cleveland? He wanted to win a championship, right?
Because they couldn't get anybody in to come in at Cleveland to get him help get over the hump.
No. To come back to Chicago, Michael Jordan didn't leave Chicago to win a championship. He stayed there, and that's why.
But they got Dennis Rodman to come.
Michael Jordan had faith in himself that he was a good enough basketball player. We're talking about who the greatest of all time basketball player is. That in itself tells you that Michael Jordan was a great basketball player. He played with anybody they put around him.
But he could. I believe you could get somebody like a Dennis Rodman to come to Chicago, but you couldn't get that to come to Cleveland. Is what I'm saying.
Why?
Huh? Because it's Cleveland. Because it's Cleveland.
Michael Jordan's a better basketball player than LeBron James.
It's just like anywhere else. Why do you think the Cleveland Browns struggle? The Cleveland Browns or the Cincinnati Bengals struggle so far in free agency? Michael Jordan didn't do it all on his own. But by the way, DC, you and I've talked. I love Michael Jordan as a basketball player. I thought he was the greatest when he left, and I still think he's great. I just think that we almost get one of those things, DC, where we down Michael. I mean, we give Michael everything he deserves. Michael isn't getting any accolades that he don't deserve, by the way, in this conversation that we're having. I just say that I don't think LeBron gets the accolade because people don't acknowledge what LeBron did at Cleveland when he was taking Cleveland to the finals with the team that they had.
And don't you think that's because he left to win a championship?
No, because he still wasn't getting it before.
Because he left to win a championship?
No, because he didn't get any credit. He was getting the same conversation about him when he left, when he was at Cleveland and they were getting to the finals and getting beat by the Tim Duncan San Antonio Spurs. He was getting talked about the same way he was when he left. I don't think the conversation changed around him. I think he was always it was almost the same way to me what happened with Jalen and Tua. It was almost like people couldn't say anything about Tua without putting Jalen down instead of respecting both their games. And that's the kind of way, because I like both players, I see it, but most people have set up and said, I'm either a LeBron guy or a Michael guy. And therefore you have to dog the other one. Michael Jordan, individual talent, if you ask me which guy I'm going to draft, I'm going to draft Michael Jordan on one thing. You know why? His killer instinct. I think that's what LeBron misses. I think everywhere else, when it comes to, when you look at his statistics, you look at what he's done in the game, he's clearly one of the most complete, dominant players to ever play the game, if not the most complete dominant player. But he doesn't have that killer instinct. That's also the reason people love Kobe, because of the killer instinct. Those two, I think if LeBron had that killer instinct, he would have been over the top even at Cleveland. And of course, that's part of being a basketball player. Don't get me wrong. So
yeah, I think that's what I said earlier. The mental aspect of the game is what I think LeBron lacks in. I don't think he's the best basketball player because of the mental aspect of the game. I think there are many others that are better basketball players.
So, but he can do it all. They both can do it all. We'll move on from that. So I even got folks stirred up on the other side. So I'm gonna let that go, DC, because we need to talk a little national championship. I think I got a couple callers as well. We'll get them in on the conversation on the other side. You listen to the Martin Houston Show on Tide 100.9.
This is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about one of our great sponsors, Overflow Express Wash. Their mission is to provide great customer service with a showroom clean car and an exceptional customer service experience. They have the basic car wash that starts at $7, but you need to check out the premium wash packages, which start as low as $12 and go up to $20. They also have a membership wash club that you can get for starting at $23.99, going up to $39.99. In other words, just double the regular premium package, drop a penny, and you can be one of the great members of Overflow Express Wash. My family and I keep our cars looking good inside and out by using Overflow Express Wash. They're located on Skyland Boulevard, right next door to Alabama 1, or you can find them online at overflowexpresswash.com. Andy Phillips and his team look forward to making you a part of their team.
It's the Tuscaloosa Community Calendar, brought to you by Pepsi.
Hey, why don't you join the movement for a world without cancer? Hey, save the date for the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life at Tuscaloosa. It happens on Friday, May 13th at Central High School. Be sure to save the date, Friday, May 13th, and help in the fight against cancer. To get more details, be sure to log on to relayforlife.org/Tuscaloosa.
We're planning a trip to Spain later this year.
But our Spanish
is pretty bad. So we're using Babbel.
Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
There's no easier way to learn another language.
Ahora hablamos español.
He just said, now we speak Spanish.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
At BMW of Tuscaloosa, the complete lineup of the ultimate driving machine is at the heart of everything we do. But we're also much more. We're your go-to dealer for high-quality, dependable used cars, trucks, and SUVs, and your go-to dealer for quick, easy financing. Incomparable BMWs? We've got them. Quality used vehicles? We've got them. Affordable payment plans? We've got them. BMW of Tuscaloosa's commitment to you in 22 is to be your go-to auto dealer. Skyland Boulevard, Tuscaloosa.
Everyone knows that Nature Valley Crunchy Bars are, well, crunchy. What they don't know is that they're also packed with 16 grams of whole grains, ready to help you get out there. Nature Valley, for every adventure.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials: a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team, on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
You're back in with the Martin Houston Show. Don't forget about Alabama One. Alabama One has a great promotion going on right now where we're running a promotion on our toys. That's right, RVs, ATVs. If you're looking to get a boat, marine, toys, all of those things. Toys, recreational vehicles. Great rates, great promotion going on. Stop by one of our branch locations, and our team members will be glad to assist you. And also, we extended the slow down your interest rates credit card balance transfer. So if you got a high rate interest card, you need to go ahead and transfer it over as well. So, wow. DC, we got a caller. We'll get to that caller because they've been waiting. And so I have a feeling they may want to have that prior conversation, and then we'll get into last night's game as well as into some spring ball. I'm gonna do a little complete this phrase for you once we get to that conversation around spring ball. All right, Tom, you're in with the Martin Houston Show. DC Capstone report on the Alabama One hotline. What's on your mind, sir?
Morning, Mark. Morning, DC. How y'all?
Good.
I was calling for a different reason, but since y'all has opened the can of worms for LeBron and Michael, and you skipped over the greatest player of all time, and it's obvious the reason you did because you never saw it play, and that was Dr. J.
I saw Dr. J play.
Oh, I love it. Well, I tell you what, I got news for you. Then you know who the greatest player in the history of basketball is, and if you saw it play. So, and I'm talking about live. And but anyway, that's my. I love Dr. J, and nothing will ever change for me. I really think that he opened the door for people like Michael Jordan and all like that.
Oh, I agree.
His style of game, but I mean, he had a style, but it was successful. You know what I'm saying? He scored, and anyway,
I agree with you, Tom. I agree with you. I think Dr. J, he would be ahead of LeBron James in my opinion as well. I think
me too.
Hey, guys, and it's all about preference. I look at LeBron as the most complete player to ever play the game. He can do everything that you want a basketball player to do, and his stats will prove that out over time. But I just told you I would draft Jordan if I'm trying to win a championship because of that mentality. But from doing basketball stuff, rebounding, shooting, scoring, steals, defense. He's one or two, top 2 or 3 in every category. So, but that's preference. That's a preference thing. And I think that when you look at these other guys, that's a personal preference in the way the game is played. And then you also, as you say, you have to take different era, different time, and different things like that. So, what else you got for us, Tom?
Well, I was calling about the basketball tournament. And of course, I always compare who all's there against my team, Alabama, who's not there.
Right.
And so, and I was going, why can't clown through here? And then I want to say this. The thing about the team from the Elite Eight on is they played with a single purpose. You know what I'm saying? They were unified. They were playing with purpose. Their passes were crisp, and their defense was intense, and on and on and on. I could go, and every one of those things, in my opinion, are things you got to have to win. And I blame this after season on the coaching staff because they never could unify this team for them to play with single purpose. Am I wrong, DC?
Well, I think there definitely was something wrong with this team, and I think the coaching staff alluded to it several times when you talked to them. And I think there's some. I can't blame the coaching staff because I think some kids are coachable, and some kids are not. And I believe that this coaching staff had a really hard time with a couple of kids in the locker room, and that led over to the other players. And in my opinion, some kids are hard to coach. So I'm not going to put all the blame on the coaching staff. I think there's enough blame to go around the players.
But
the staff in the early on not being able to instill the right mentality in this team that needs to
DC,
be an underachieving team.
Let me ask you this though, DC. Where does a coach take your responsibility for there to be consequences for those kids that aren't coachable? He did. He at one point he tried to send a message, but he didn't stick with it.
I agree.
So
to go around. I agree with that.
So I guess that's what I'm saying is he didn't. To me, he was almost did what it took when he started playing the kid from Mountain Brook, but why would he not have? I mean, all of that talent. To me, all of that talent on the bench and the way he tried to show it was, and I get it. You put the kid from Mountain Brook in. If I'm the guy you're trying to teach the lesson from, I know you're not going to make that a permanent move. Put one of those other guys in that maybe that I recruited as a 5-star or 4-star or whatever that really has a legit chance of taking my job. So I think, like I said, he did some of it, but I don't think he did enough. So I'm kind of with Tom on some of this. I looked at it, Tom, and I don't think Alabama's coaching is at the level of the Elite Eight coaches we just saw.
I see that. Because look, I'm telling you, y'all know this as well as I do. Those are things that you're going to encounter every year with a team. I mean, you got egos, you got to manage them, and on as it goes. But the thing about it is, somebody said to me the other day, they said, "Oh man, I hope Rock's going to turn over." You know what I told them? Good.
Yeah.
It's not worth a flip. And, we've been sold a bill of goods on this roster could take us somewhere, and they didn't do it. Okay, time to get another.
Yeah. All right, Tom.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hey, DC, as you watched last night's game, as you watched that game last night, did you see? Did it make you realize that there's a gap that talent's going to help close, but also And don't get me wrong, I hope no one hears me saying that I don't think Nate Oates can get us to a level we've never been to. I think he can, but I think he's a young coach as well. I think Nate Oates is still learning and growing as a coach, and I hope he continues to do that. But watching the last, few weekends of basketball, did you see a bigger gap between Alabama and where you thought they were?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I saw the gap that's there. I think Alabama has a long way to go to establish a standard of basketball to get back in days of like Win Sampson and CMU. I don't think we've been there in quite some time, and I think that I think everybody really got overly optimistic with what Nate Oates was able to do the first year. I think probably the worst thing he could have done was what he did, take them so far in the very first year. I think the fan base, the critics, the analysts would have been much easier on him if he'd have gone slower. But he set the bar pretty high when he came in by saying what he was going to do, and he accomplished a lot of it in the first year. And the second year, even though he's accomplished a lot, was a letdown. I think Nate Oates is a young coach. I think he's still learning. I think he's got a lot more to learn. It's easy to see teams like Kansas and Duke and North Carolina and Villanova when you're watching those teams play that they have a lot different mentality, a lot different hard play where they kind of put their coach's mentality out on the floor with those players, and they kind of live through him and what they've done. I don't think we've got that way yet in Alabama. Not to say that they can't get there, but I think the gap is a little larger than most Alabama fans would like to admit.
Yeah, and physical. When you looked at those teams physically, I didn't see us there either. Talent wise, skill wise, we may be, but physical. So I think there's going to have to be a strength and conditioning, and the guy that he has there may get him there. I'm not saying that he can't. I'm just saying that there's a different physicality in the players that were playing for the championship than what Alabama's running out on the court. And yes, we beat some of the best teams in there, so we know we have some of the elements to do it, but can you do it in a 5-6 game stretch to win a championship, to get to the Final Four? And that's the question. There is a lot of roster movement. It seems like Nate Oates is out there trying to find them some point guards, as Alabama lost all of their ball handlers this year. So hopefully, we'll get a couple guards in the transfer portal, so we're not playing with first-year guys at every time we make a substitution on the basketball court at the guard position. Coming back on the other side, DC, I'll let you give me your thoughts if you want to on the championship. Then we'll ask a couple quick questions regarding scrimmage.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
From the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center, we have a wreck on University Boulevard eastbound at Cottondale, where the highway comes from 4 lanes down to 2. Trucks off.
What's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread. Good Tuesday morning, the leading edge of those strong to severe storms moving across West Alabama at this hour. There is an enhanced risk for Demopolis southward, a slight risk between Demopolis and Tuscaloosa, and a marginal risk northward from an Aliceville to Tuscaloosa line. These storms could bring damaging winds, large hail, and possibly a tornado or two. Keep up with the severe weather on Operation Storm Watch throughout the day. We will keep you informed. Click TuscaloosaThread.com for more. Don Hertley, Tasper Media, Tuscaloosa.
Hello, this is Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show, and I want to tell you about Tuscaloosa Custom Carving. If you're looking for a way to add value to your home, make your flower beds pop, make your landscaping stand out from your neighbors, then Tuscaloosa Custom Carving can help you do just that. They have numerous styles, but they feature the Moroccan Stone Curve series, which includes 4 great styles and unlimited color choices. That's Tuscaloosa Custom Carving. They are the one that can help you stand out from your neighbors. Tuscaloosa Custom Carving, 6823. You may also find yourself with the need for a custom size stone or custom shaped stone. Then Tuscaloosa Custom Carving can help with that as well. Paul Fuller and his team are waiting on your call right now for that free quote. And if you tell them that Martin Houston with the Martin Houston Show told you to stop by, you'll get a big discount. So call Tuscaloosa Custom Carving at 205-331-6823 or visit them online at Tuscaloosa Custom Carving LLC.
Tuscaloosa Gunsmith does gun repair, modifications, cleaning, Cerakoting, and laser engraving for guns, and they sell Black Rifle Coffee. Tuscaloosa Gunsmith, just off 15th Street behind the fire station.
Work is a part of all of us. Working drives us to push beyond what we thought was imaginable and allows us to come together again for the things that really matter. That's why the Alabama Department of Labor and the Alabama Career Center system is here to help you discover bigger opportunities than ever before. Visit your local career center or alabamaworks.alabama.gov. Funding provided by the USDOI, PTA, and Federal WIOA, and Equal Opportunity Employer Program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request. Brought to you by the station, the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio, with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
If you're looking for a quality tractor for your home, business, farm, or hunting club, check out the MT2E and MTE series tractors from LS Tractors, available at Columbiana Tractor. LS tractors come with a 6-year warranty and are available in horsepower ranges from 22 up to 101 horsepower. Let the pros at Columbiana Tractor create the LS tractor package you need with recommended attachments including loader, backhoe, rotary cutter, and box play. The grand opening of Columbiana Tractor's new location this Saturday on Highway 280 in Westover.
Weather being brought to you by New Floors to Go. If you need new flooring for your home, remember New Floors to Go, 3621 Greensboro Avenue. New Floors to Go.
The sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. DC, I didn't tell everybody that the reason you're a Michael Jordan guy was because all that money you had to say to buy those Jordans because you bought into the commercial "Be Like Mike." But I let you slide on that, DC. No, no, seriously. Hey, everybody wants to be like Mike, right? So now it comes out. You are Michael Jordan. That's what it is. Okay. But yeah, DC. Any closing thoughts or comments, really quick on the game last night?
I thought both teams played a good game, and I think Kansas kind of played into their hand that they were dealt, and that they made a better adjustment at halftime. I think North Carolina could have come out with the understanding of what Kansas is going to do and try to play a little better defense, and I think Kansas did the better defense in the second half. That's what won the game for them.
Yeah,
position where they had been before, and they weren't shaken by it.
Yep, you could tell that this team had come back from being behind, and that they are a really good second half team. So, all right, hey, a couple complete these phrases, questions, DC. This year's O-line can be better because
I think
coaching.
I think this O-line can be better because of coaching. Everything I've heard about Eric Walford has been positive. I have not heard any negative from the players, from the other coaches, from people I know that are at practices and scrimmages. He is really instilling a little bit more toughness into this offensive line. I think that's a good thing, way better.
Yeah, and I would also add in there the fact that we're already ahead of where we were in the running game has to make you feel better about the offensive line, that we don't have to. Hopefully, we can just improve that and get better as pass blockers. Trey Sanders having 73 yards in the scrimmage means what for this Bama team and him?
I think it means he's healthy. I think it means he's healthy and ready to try to make a difference this year in the running game. I think having a healthy Trey Sanders is going to complement the running back Gibbs and also the two that's injured. We've got a couple of players that come back injuries with Roydell Williams and Jason Sutherland. Are they going to be able to sustain where they were before the injury? And having a healthy Trey Sanders is really going to help this time.
Yeah, we've kind of given this job to Gibbs, but do you think that's a done deal? Do you think that there really is a little competition, and are these guys slotted 1A, 1B, or just one?
I think it's a competition right now. I think really Gibbs in the coach's mind was going to be a third down back and return kicks and use his speed in the passing game. But his intention was when he got here, he just looked so good and so fast that everybody thought he would be the crown, starting tailback. I think he could still be that, but I think Trey Sanders and some of the other players are going to have something to say about that. This Demarion Miller kid too is somebody to watch. I think he's done really well in practice and really picking up the offense.
Yeah, and I won't ask you another question. I'll let you give me your thoughts on the scrimmage.
Well, I think the overall scrimmage is the one thing I heard coming out of it that made me feel so much good about it is that Jalen Milroe is getting better, passing, and carrying the team down the field. I think he's going to be a critical point for us to have someone like him this year. Bryce Young. And secondly, Coach Saban stated there were no complainers on this team. Let's say about last year's team, and this year's team starting off for a better footing, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, it kind of makes you think how good of a job did he really do last year, because it sounds like he could have had the same challenges that Nate Oates had, and somehow he was able to overcome that and get that team to the championship. Tell our listeners where they can find you and tell a little bit about how you're on with me every week.
Well, you can find us at DCCapstoneReport.com, DC Capstone Report Facebook page. Also at David Cott 50, and you can always check out Lance's other site, RollTideBama.com and FreelancePictures.com.
All right.
Lance, sorry, one that does that. We appreciate you for checking out his website as well.
All right, DC, I guess I'll let you and Michael Jordan go off into the sunset as the GOAT.
Michael Jordan's my favorite, but LeBron James, my team is not even in my top 7. We'll talk about that another time.
Not even top 7. You wouldn't take LeBron as your forward?
No.
Oh, wow. All right.
You asked me to pick a team, check your team around, and he's not one top 7.
Could he be at least your 6th man? You not even no. You said he wouldn't be in top 7. Never mind, DC. We. All right, DC. Go put those Jordan on and dunk like Mike today as you do your job today. Have a great one, man. All right. Hey, listen, this is Martin Houston. That's DC Capstone Report. That's Mason pressing all the right buttons. We'll be back tomorrow with X's and O's Sports. Xavier Houston. Looking forward to another great show. Remember this, trust in the Lord. Always lean not in your own understanding. Always acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. And roll tide, everybody out there. And thanks to all the caller listeners, chatters, and viewers for being a part of the Martin Houston Show.
On your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.